Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Nerdcast Dave, and as usual, I'm joined by this pack of nerds. What is it? What do you call a group of nerds? Like we have to figure that. Feel like I need to figure that out now.
A blessing.
I
Oh,
thought that was unicorns, right? Isn't that a herd of unicorns?
Yeah. A pocket
Maybe.
protector of nerds.
Yeah.
A study group?
Pocket-
a chess club,
That's old
A
school.
club of nerds. I like that. A club.
a
Club.
party.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think. I mean, other than adventuring party, I don't know if party fits. That's
Oh,
Come
that's
with-
fair.
How about a, how about a,
Angela
how
might
about a-
disagree with you.
Although
How
things have changed. Things have changed a lot, But with that, we're going to be playing some RPGs tonight. We're going to play Cypher System Moon Rises, which is a post-apocalyptic fantasy sci-fi game loosely paying homage to Thundarr the Barbarian meets his Flash Gordon with just a kiss of 2020 thrown in there. We kind of pick up 55 years after the world has ended. We're getting ready to start up with you guys coming up on a civilization, a new town that you have not seen before. And you guys are on a mission. Robin, why don't you start telling us a little bit
Oh.
about what you guys have been up to?
Good, because usually I have to go last and then I can't think of anything. I recall that this town is not on fire, unlike the last one that we were at. I believe that last session we had to fight a demon that was trying to possess me. I did invite it in, admittedly. But I will sass until the day I die, and that is what I recall.
So after red always has to come blue. So what's up, Ted?
so. Blue remembers that as the demon comes out of the little purple creature Lilac and goes into his most trusted friend, was definitely in for a shock of how the flip do we get this thing out. So he just basically became the emotional support monkey for the session. Doing whatever he could. Actually thought so hard he hurt himself trying to help Red, which I thought was quite comical.
I heard.
But once we defeated the thing, we set out scavenged the town a little bit, got a couple of fun things, and God, I hope somebody else grabbed them because I don't have them written down. But once that was determined, the five of us taking Lilac with us set off to go kind of get ahead of Marina the Merciless, Marina the Marinara Sauce, to get ahead of her army, warn the village, and possibly see what we might be able to do from there.
Greg.
So, on a broader scale, Greg started to take note of the increasing number of disembodied entities that seem to need hosts of some sort that he's encountering, including himself, sort of, as he's inhabiting his suit. He was pretty shaken by gaining some perspective that there really was like other hellish dimensions and possibly other things of that nature. And also in sort of getting away from the group and thinking about those things, he discovered a trail of magical or some sort of energy that led to Marina's spellcasting components, essentially, that he discovered. And he started to think maybe perhaps they could cripple her by taking away her magical power, or who knows, enacting some sort of crazy magic themselves. And like Red said, yes, we had come upon a town that was not on fire and yet did have a curl of welcoming lighter colored smoke, not the black smoke that makes you think, oh, something's wrong. And that's where we left off.
Goggles.
So I remember that we started out with Red, our speaker, quintessentially doing what she should and convincing the demon to come out of Lilac. So as a result, the demon tried to possess Red, but her willpower proved to be far too strong for him. Goggles, per his motif, tried to win things with a hug, which transported him into Red's mindscape, which was definitely interesting. And in the process, he more or less just slugged things because he's not super much of a thinker. And Grig used his psionic powers, and Blue managed to heal us, which was super cool. Goggles got shot out of Red, but Red still defeated the demon like a boss. And so I guess she's the boss now. Anyway, and then we came upon this town that had inviting smoke.
Yes, inviting smoke as opposed to the other kind, of which you guys have stumbled upon as well. Yeah. So from a distance, what you can see before you lays this sprawling community. Everything looks cleaner and neater than you've seen. Far more organized. Looking down on the scene below you from a hill, because why else would you enter a town other than from a hilltop? You can see like organized rows of gardens. You see people milling about. But the one thing you do notice, most of the people look almost the same from this distance.
Is there any sort of like outer wall or, constructed defensive looking things around this town?
No, actually, that's kind of surprising because, most settlements have some kind of rudimentary defenses, whether they're just watchtowers or, palisades or something, because the world is kind of dangerous. But this one is very open.
So we noticed that, the Marina, the army would make, short work of this place.
It would seem so, yes.
Perhaps I'm going to ask some sort of invisible defenses, though.
That's what I was gonna go.
Sure.
I am trained in assessing danger. Is there anything that might be hidden to make it look like it's, nondescript, but is in fact, some kind of thing to, ward off, ne'er-do-wells?
No, it's actually a very placid scene, and your spider monkey senses are not tingling even in the slightest.
Dave, can I give you inspiration for that joke?
Clear intrusion.
All right. Well, I was hoping for something, but crap. This place is just easy pickings.
Well, it could be. They could have the same sort of. Who knows what? I mean, they could have somebody here that can enact magic the same way as Marina. It could be invisible defenses.
I really hope so, but this place looks like that's a pushover. And he tries to whisper a little, not that Lilac's gonna miss things because she's probably taller than he is.
I never thought about that before.
It's close.
Well, I thought you said she was 4 foot tall, and
yeah,
Blue was 3.
Well, then yeah, she is taller than Blue.
Okay.
3
give me a navigation check.
Yeah, navigation
or geography, whichever.
I've got both, so.
Our expert scientist.
What's my difficulty?
It's just going to be a 3 on this one.
3, so that's a 9. Brings it down to a 6. That's an 18.
I am.
Ooh.
So, one of the things you are kind of picking up on, you had set out for a specific settlement.
Okay.
You had access to some maps and things before heading out, and with your general knowledge of geography and the layout, and you kind of have a keen mind for such things. Thesis was off in the distance, and that's where you thought you were going to be hitting, but it seems like you hit it sooner than you thought. Maybe the map was wrong, but and also this place would have kind of been in the path of the warlord's army, or war lady's army, I should say.
Oh, after having left Deadfall Downs, this
Thesis was far enough out that you felt like you could get there, and it would have been too much trouble for them to travel that extra distance based off of the pattern they've been kind of following. But this definitely would lay directly in that path without a problem.
So would we speculate that this is not Thesis?
Well, it's either not Thesis or Thesis is closer than the map indicated. All that being said, it would definitely be within the range that the army was kind of bouncing back and forth because they were doing this zigzag pattern and just kind of sweeping through as many settlements as they could. And there's no reason why they would not have swept through this one.
No, but there has to be a reason. It's just not a reason that we've thought of yet.
Well, maybe we'll find out when we get a closer look.
Do you think?
Yeah,
like
as you guys approach, one of the other things that kind of stands out is a lot of this place looks constructed, where it doesn't look like it's been built on a previous settlement. You know, they're kind of like dome shaped structures. I mean, they're small, like kind of like huts, and built out of somewhat normal materials, but they're very. It's very like organized and orderly, and everything is kind of done like the same way.
Which that we're not used to seeing. Things are usually ramshackle, right?
Yes, you know, the people are using whatever they get their hold on, hands on. Like, you know, while this stuff may be reclaimed materials, they're definitely everything was kind of built from the ground up, and you know, there's no buildings that have been like salvaged where people just kind of like, oh, there's a couple of walls here, I can use that and let me build onto it, or you know, patch up a place or some place was left in good standing. So like a lot of settlements that have sprung up, they generally have sprung up around places where people have lived before, and this kind of has a feel of a newness to it.
Well, it looks delightful.
Well, I'm not really getting any danger vibes, and you know, Marina seemed to have, you know, skipped this place. So let's go in and see what information we can find out.
Yeah, what do you think, Lilac? Does this look like a nice place?
It's clean, and
It is very clean.
And look at it, everything looks samey.
I don't know if I like that.
Well, it's neat. Looks neat. Like somebody took care of it.
Mm-hmm. Looks very structured.
You don't think?
Well,
these
I
people
will.
are
I will
friends
take
with
her
you?
hand and say, "Well, let's go check it out." If she, you know, or I'll hold out my hand.
Yeah. She'll take your hand, looks up at you, and what? In a whisper, like kind of conspiratorial. But it might also be boring. It does look a little boring.
Doesn't it just?
I'm going to sort of, if you let me use my fire step ability that I sort of imagine as like an anti-gravity thing to just sort of like float like a balloon while she's holding me, walking into town a little bit, just to amuse her and myself.
You're going to be the child's astronaut balloon.
Yeah, sort of.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, you guys will do that. So as you approach, you notice the first thing you notice is all the people that you see for the most part are wearing just simple robes, in grays and whites. They appear to be basically hairless, and they have kind of like, they look like elves with like kind of like big rounded heads. So looking at them from the front, their features are they look like kind of like elf. You would imagine an elf to look, but then their cranium kind of balloons out a little bit and is
It's like
isn't as
elongated.
not like huge, not like monstrously slow, but a little
Like they got big brains.
a little bit oversized for like an elf skull, right?
Okay.
It's like almost like you married like a human and an elf skull together. This is probably what you would get.
Like a third edition halfling.
Yeah. But not fifth edition. That's just monsters.
Yeah, really teeny feet.
And as you know, even from a distance, when a few of them look up, it's a little eerie because they have these bright green eyes that almost glow, and all of them have like the same colored eyes.
And they look very similar, or like they are the same?
No, they look very similar. Like some of them might look the same to you, but you definitely see some that are slightly different, where it's not like exactly. But very similar. Many of them look kind of androgynous, and it's kind of hard to tell if they're male or female or what their sex is. There's they like much like the buildings. There's a sameness to them.
Should we try the universal greeting? I say to my companions.
I'm getting big cult vibes.
So we're sort of like just on the outskirts, and people are looking at us.
Yeah, as you get, they look up and they seem nonplussed or perturbed by you guys kind of, heading into the town or village.
Is there any posted?
I'll say "What's up" to the nearest person.
Oh my god!
But I'll say it like that.
Rolls or any of that kind of
What's
stuff.
up?
So you do. That's when you kind of do notice, like, mixed amongst the people, there's like a couple of them that do have some hair, and they look a bit different than the rest. And they still have the green eyes, but they're not as bright. And when you say
final form yet?
When you say "what's up" to one of them, they look at you, and you kind of hear in your mind, what is this? What's up?
I will think it's an ancient greeting, predating the current era.
Oh, well, then greeting. And then, like, you feel like they just gave you their name as, like, an introduction. There's not actually a name. It's just a thought that, like, kind of accompanies it. And, like, when you look at that particular person, that thought jumps to your mind.
Okay.
But it's not like a name. It's not like a symbol.
I will try to conceptualize a thought to embody Grig's identity and think that back at them.
And they're just and they
experiences.
Yeah, so they go through all that, and then their lip quirks up in a little bit of a smile. Greetings, Grig. It is nice to meet you.
Is that vocal, or are you saying that
in your mind? Yeah, the lips just barely move at all, just for a quick smirk. But other than that, welcome to Amzia.
Thank you for greeting us. We're strangers in a strange land. We've just come from Deadfall Downs.
Yes, I'm aware of it. The council is going to want to meet you.
We'd love to meet a council. Do you mind if I explain to my friends what's going on? I don't think they have the same connection, unless they can all hear us now. Can you guys all hear what's going on? I think.
So they repeat everything but now everyone kind of hears it in their head.
This is weird.
Yeah, Red very obviously does not like this one bit.
Is this because of the demon?
Are you all in here with us?
Is this because of the demon?
Oh.
Blue is looking around, looking to Red.
Don't fret, little one. We have no demons here. The only demons here are the ones you bring with you.
Did we bring that one?
Is it still?
Can we whisper in here? I think.
Lilac's not a demon.
No.
We fixed that.
I
the
am speaking.
Of be able to tell if such a demon was present, or are you speaking metaphorically? Are you thinking metaphorically?
So initially, I was thinking to you, Grig, because it seemed rude to impose my thoughts on everyone else. But since you spoke to me first, then when it seemed like you wanted your companions included, it broadened the conversation.
Yes, it can be disconcerting. I don't know any other way to exist currently than as a thought. But for my friends, the corporeal world gives them a sense of safety.
But I was just trying to respond to the little one's query about demons, and as far as I know, there are no demons here.
Do you get a lot of travelers?
Oh, we get some some are allowed through.
Does it get tiring having to explain the fact that you don't use words, you think at people, and they have to explain that?
Well,
this-
everyone has something to explain when they meet others that are different than them.
This is a big difference. I mean, no offense, just
Not to us. Talking out loud, that's to us. That's very noisy
so.
and different. But you may if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Should we whisper? I don't want to bother you guys,
You can do it however is comfortable for you.
but this is your house, or your home, your place.
Yes, and we've allowed you in, so you're welcome.
Well, I
Does the
for
name
one would
Marina
love
the
to meet this.
Merciless?
Oh, sorry. What's that?
Does the name Marina the Merciless mean anything to you guys?
Yes, we are aware of the threat that resides outside of here.
So she's definitely a threat to you.
To all
Everyone.
living things.
Let's not let the wrong ideas get settled in these smart people's heads. We're not for her. We're not with her.
We're vehemently against her.
That's a good word. That does mean strongly, right?
It does.
Okay, good.
Well, if we believed you were for her, the elders would have never let you penetrate into the town.
Magical words. I knew it.
Magic?
Well, I'd be delighted to meet your council.
I don't know about magic. I mean, I've seen books that have referred to magic, but what we do is not magic. You're just mentally gifted. Well, most of us. They kind of look off in the direction, a little bit of sadness to some of the ones with hair, and look a little bit more, I guess, what you would consider normal for you guys.
For me? or any of us.
Well, more of what you've run into. You know, while they look similar to their hairless brethren, they're clearly not the same.
I will think towards the initial person who addressed me and said, and think they just haven't reached their final form yet.
We can hope. Come with me, and I will take you to the elders. And they lead you to one of these huts is actually a little bit bigger than the rest. It's built exactly the same, and it's kind of like the way things are structured here is they have this larger structure that's in the center of the town, and then they kind of go out and in a ring from there, with all the other buildings being nearly the same size and same appearance. And the one in the center looks like the rest of them. It's only a bit bigger, and once you're led to that, and inside it's a kind of like, it looks like kind of like a common area. It makes you think of like a tavern or a bar a little bit, or a restaurant, only less commercial, I guess.
And does it have the same feeling of like still being like, even though it's a different type of building, does it still feel the same?
Yeah, in here there's pillows all over the place on the floor, and low tables. So it looks like you would sit upon the pillows at the tables, and you see things like tea service trays and stuff at various ones. There are a few of these folk in here eating. Blue probably notices right away that all of them seem to be eating what appears to be, and also Goggles might notice as well, because because culinary things interest Goggles, but there is no meat at any of the tables that you can see. It looks to be all the vegetables and stuff that they've been growing. And there's in the center there's like a grill that's set up with hot coals underneath of it, and one of the people with hair, she's got blonde hair and looks very similar to the rest of them. They're all kind of like an average build, medium height. and she's turning over some kind of vegetation on the grill and roasting it. Kind of smells good. And you're led to a series of low, long tables, and you're invited to have a seat.
Well, I mean, something smells good. So, thank you.
You're welcome. The elders are coming now. So from another door walks a line of these people, and they look like very much like the one I described. Also, they also give off this appearance of agelessness. They have very youthful expressions and faces, if not even childlike.
What, do they all look the same in the sense that like they're all hairless and wearing the same clothes, or do they look like identical?
Hairless, same clothes,
Okay.
Very similar features, but not like there is variance.
They're not like
Yeah. No, they don't. They it does not look like a bunch of identical twins.
Okay.
Are the green eyes the same, or
they're
are they
exactly the same? The only difference is the ones with hair, which you've not seen very many of them, don't seem to kind of like, I say glow, but they don't actually glow. But if you ever see someone with like really bright eyes where they almost look like they do.
Mm-hmm.
Have you is anybody else imagining the aliens from the Menagerie, like the pilot episode of Star Trek?
That's not too far off. That and the eyes, if you kind of think about Dune when they're on the spice.
Oh, the Fremen.
Oh,
Yeah,
so like
yeah,
their
yeah.
whole eye is green, like
Yes.
it's just a green. Oh, okay.
But instead of blue, it's green.
This is quite a society. In some ways, people from the pre-calamitous time might consider this some sort of bizarro utopia.
So they kind of like file in across from the four of you at the table, five of you, I should say, at the table, and they all kind of give you a slight bow and sit cross-legged, and the one in the center kind of begins thinking at you. Greetings. We're glad that you've made it to Amzia safely.
Did you know we were coming?
Yes, we did. We have cast our minds far and wide, and we knew something was coming. We knew you would be bringing the child, and the child needed safe harbor.
Wow. Well, I guess we made the right choice in coming here.
Red does not look sure about that.
Did you say you cast your minds out?
It did say that.
It is.
Greg, don't you do that?
To some extent, yes. I'm completely captivated right now, to be honest.
You're not talking like, pulling your brain out and throwing it like on a line, right? That
Of course not, little one. That would be kind of gross, to be honest with you. We are able to travel the world a little bit wider and broader, as your friend Greg does. I don't want to say anything that maybe you do not want revealed, but to us, we can see you.
I see you too.
And when they say that, that they're talking to Greg.
Oh. You can see my, what? The neurological firings inside, trapped in this this synthetic suit?
That's one way of looking at it, yes.
Wait a minute. I'm not some kind of like Judeo-Christian ghost, am I? I've only recently discovered there might possibly be an actual nether realm of hell.
That would be an interesting concept in philosophy.
It would.
Just quietly sitting over here, crossing herself.
We're not very religious here. We're more spiritual.
So I imagine that there are lots of questions. I don't know how you're throwing your brains and being able to see further. I don't really have any of those kind of skills. But we came here to try and warn you about the war lady. Apparently, you already know about her. And
Yes.
your people outside said that that you guys would not let her in, or not let us in if we were a threat. I gotta say, I've got loads of questions, and I don't even know where to begin.
Well, how about with a meal? I'm afraid we do not have any meat. We are vegetarians here.
Woohoo! Very rarely you can hear Ted say "woohoo" to that.
Well, thank you for what you're sharing. This is very, very hospitable of you.
And we're not that kind of vegetarian that tries to make fake meat because that's just weird. We just kind of eat vegetables and stuff here.
Is there already people like that back around?
I'm sure. If not, they're coming.
You would know. Can you cast your mind forward in time? I apologize. If
No, we are bound by the same temporal restraint that you are. And individually, we probably are not any stronger than you. I mean, some of us are a bit more practiced, but we are able to work collectively as a community. And that is why we were able to subconsciously let our minds out into the world around the town here. And those that wish ill upon others just won't see this place and will find themselves going around it.
Interesting. So you each amplify each other.
That's a good way of putting it, yes.
What do you call this place?
Amzia?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I heard you say that. This is a lot.
There was a lot of people thinking at the same time at that moment, Red.
And it can be a lot. I understand. I mean, if for us, speaking with a lot of people once would be a lot. So it is not foreign to us. Most of us have given up the tongue a long time ago. Some of us still use it a little.
Oh. Okay, I was about to say, you need that to taste things with.
No, not literally, figuratively. Some of us, our vocal cords have atrophied to the point where speaking would be very difficult, if not impossible. We just have kind of evolved around it. Although there are those of us that are born with stronger vocal cords and more follically endowed, I should say. I don't know why those things they seem to block psychic energy, but they do for some reason.
So
Hair
they can't
blocks
just
psychic
shave
energy.
their heads.
Oh, of course we tried that. That doesn't work. It seemed like we knew it was going to be too simple anyway. It's just some of very few of us are born differently, and they just don't have the same gifts the rest of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. If you guys have the ability to project your minds, further and faster and whatnot than what our friend here can do, can't you just? I'm sorry if this is going too fast or revealing too much, but wouldn't you be able to give us all the information we need about Marina the Merciless, her numbers, where she's going, any kind of weaknesses she might have? And we don't even have to actually fight her. We just go right back to the Hopebringer and complete our mission.
I think we still have to fight her.
Some of that information we can provide. Logistics is easy enough. Cannot get close to the one that you call Marina. She
To be fair, she calls herself Marina. We call her Marinara.
Marinara. Interesting.
It takes some of the fear out of her if we can mock her a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose. But there's something that blocks us from getting too close to
Magic.
To the center of the army. So we've been able to look and kind of perceive the outside, and whatever's blocking us has left us a little bit concerned that we will open ourselves up to being observed in return. So we did not press that very hard. Magic, you say? That's a real thing?
I didn't believe it myself. She seems to wield pretty powerful, potent magical abilities or some sort of power.
She works with demons. Like
Jeez.
actual demons.
That's why we thought, you were being literal when we got here.
Yeah, she put a demon in Lilac. She turned a whole bunch of people into stone. She subjugated, or killed a whole bunch of people. Yeah, she
animated those same stone statues into, to attack us.
When Blue says she put a demon in Lilac, I earmuffs.
And also when you first start talking about magic, there's a slight indignant look of or expression, and also a wave of feeling that kind of comes off of this individual that you're speaking to. Again, they all introduce themselves, but again, it's just kind of a sensation that accompanies it. It's not a name.
Well,
I project a memory at them to prove that this happened?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's not so much you don't feel like they're calling you a liar or you're being called out. But you definitely have confronted. It definitely feels like you confronted them with something that was very much out of their scope.
Skepticism.
Yeah, and when when you project kind of the memory at them, they kind of physically recoil a little. And the one that first introduced themselves to you gasps. I didn't mean actual demons
Yeah, she's
monsters.
Bad. She's much worse than we even imagine, or me anyway.
And then they kind of turn and look at Goggles. You are very noisy.
Thank you, I think.
Are you okay?
I mean, yes, I think. Do you think I'm okay?
I think they're talking about the pink people.
The Giznor.
I mean,
you probably mean the aliens that live inside my suit.
maybe, we try not to pry, and it kind of takes on a little bit of a sheepish look. It's really easy for us to slide in to the minds of others, like your group, the uninitiated. Greg might be kind of tough here due to his nature.
I'm very open-minded.
But we try not to because it's rude, without being invited. But the amount of noise that comes off of you, we can't keep it out.
Of course. The second they say, sometimes we read your minds on accident, my mind immediately goes to all the things that I don't want them to hear coming off of me. Like the fact that I do not trust them and my embarrassing crush on Unik Hopebringer.
So wait, actually, when you think of Unik Hopebringer, and you kind of look at them, you see you see some similarities. They look like tiny versions, almost.
Oh, that's weird.
Of Unik?
Yeah. In his features, you kind of just you see a little bit. And of all the people, the one thing that it does kind of make them a little bit easier to pick out, while their features are all very similar, their skin hues are varied. So
That makes sense.
Here's a question. If you can go into people's minds, can you pull things out of people's minds?
in theory, I mean, we really try not to go into people's minds. It's messy, and not to mention rude. It can
No,
be
what
kind
you
of
mean? The
rude.
last time I retrieved memories from somebody, I turned their brain to mush when I was done.
They were dead.
They were dead, though.
Hmm.
I didn't kill them. I think Blue might have. I think X, and then I'm like, oh crap! Did I just think that out loud?
Well, the reason I was asking is because I have these psychic aliens that live inside my suit because we found them underwater and they were trapped. And we didn't know how to help them or how to move them or how to release them without them just dying. So they're currently trapped in the gems on my suit. But if you're able to do something to maybe make a home for them or something, I mean, it's got to be better than being trapped here.
Perhaps the phallically challenged people would make suitable host entities.
We don't
Oh no, I don't.
go
I don't think that would be
voluntelling.
good for either.
Oh,
No, I was thinking more like, like how Grig is, where he's a mind inside an artificial body.
I mean, if they're not used to having a body, then what if you just built a house that wasn't dependent upon you moving around and they could just live there?
They did kind of have bodies before they entered the Earth's atmosphere.
oh, they did. Oh, I thought they were just entities.
Well, they were. It was made of, the bodies were made of energy, but to them, that was their body.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well,
A more crazy idea, ask them what they want. Ask them what will make them happy.
Like a fire?
no, that's a good idea. Okay. Can I
Would
try to
people be able to help?
meditate
Yeah.
and think to them or connect with them without being under extreme duress?
Maybe the people here. Would you be able to guide Goggles to? These people have seemed just upset and angry. Would anybody here be able to guide them? I would be happy to go with you, Goggles, if you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
That is a possibility. I think you should all rest first before we even delve into that. May I touch the gem?
Sure.
Let's do it right here, right now.
So very gingerly at first, they begin to kind
That
of
was Duck saying that.
lay their hand upon the gem, and this is fascinating. It is. This thing is radiating with psychic energy of its own, and I can feel it linked. I feel the link between you and it, but then they're existing in there, very angry and scared and hurt.
Right.
These gems that you have in your suit here, they're very special. I don't know that there's many other ways you would have been able to contain these beings. But
Yeah.
I will not do anything more for now. But perhaps if you wish to stay a day or two, we can explore if there's something we can do.
Yeah. Because I don't want them to be unhappy.
Do you know what they want?
No, I need to ask them that, but I'm not really sure how to do that. I've only been able to connect with them when I'm in incredible danger. And then they usually just kind of turn me into a monster. It's kind of a whole thing.
Oh. That sounds less good.
We think they
Yeah.
were allergic to the Earth's atmosphere, and they were trapped by some pretty bad people who tortured them for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that would do it.
Well, and I mean, for my part, I just I just want them to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. And if you can find a way to let them live a better life than they can inside my suit, maybe you can teach them how to do what you do, where they can go anywhere they want.
I can tell you, I mean, I only briefly touched the very surface. I can tell you their pain is an old one. It is not new. They're not currently suffering or in pain. But they've been traumatized.
Well, they have
That is the pain I sensed.
They have a very kind heart to live in right now.
So we need a ghost therapist.
I love that idea, Red.
I don't know. Your group seems very fixated on these theological beings.
Well, I mean, we did just encounter a demon, in all fairness.
I don't have a problem helping, helping the Giznor, but I'm fixated on, that whole crazy lady out there who is killing and taking and killing and taking. So
Yeah,
I don't know if 2 days is wise to stay here. I mean, we could always come back. I'm just throwing my thoughts out there. But I
you
think,
do make an excellent point, Blue, for sure.
Well, you're more than welcome to stay here. You'll be safe.
it's not about us. It's about everybody else.
yeah.
And he'll totally just, as best as he can recollect, pull up the memory of, the conversation with Hopebringer, saying, gather information, get back here, and do what you can.
I see. They're quite lofty and heroic goals.
We
applaud them.
We've learned quite a bit, though, already, if you think about it.
It's I'm gonna die no matter what. I mean, it's out there, but I think that if we can help others along the way, I'm all for it.
Well, I mean, we all die eventually. You're right there.
Not necessarily.
If nothing else, we would love if you would welcome us to stay the night so we can recuperate from the harrowing experience we had in the town over.
Hey,
Yeah, it does sound like it was quite the experience.
We had a good rest on that dirt clod last night, didn't we?
I mean, maybe, but I would have preferred a waterbed.
Of course you would.
And the little one?
Oh, sorry.
The little one? Will you be leaving her in our care?
If she wants to stay.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that would be up to Lilac.
Well, I don't know. I kind of know you guys, and I like you guys, and I don't want to go where I don't think I want to go where you're going either.
We can always pick you up on the way back.
Oh, I would like that.
What kind of what sort of life would Lilac have here in Amzia?
Well, I mean, we have some children here that she can grow up with, and we will educate her the best we can and keep her safe and clean and fed.
Would it be awkward for her not having the same aptitudes as the other folk here?
Oh, I mean, she'd be like, those among us that don't have the gift.
She's pretty smart and pretty brave, talented. So who knows what she might be able to do. Perhaps I'm going to be able to teach some of your folks stuff.
Possibly. I'm not so sure with all that hair, though.
I think that you should take some time and think about it. And if you want us to come back for you, we will. Or I will. I can't really speak for everybody else.
I think I trust you to speak for me, Red.
Oh, well, thank you.
Am I
We
gonna
can
have
always
to
make
eat,
sure to come back and visit.
Am I gonna have to eat vegetables all the time?
If you stay,
She's
Don't worry,
been kind of
somebody
like
eventually will develop a meat substitute, Lilac.
Lilac has been kind of like poking around her plate and just moving things back and forth. And the one that's been doing most of the speaking, yeah, just try some. You might like it. And there is like a variety of different things. There's like greens and stuff like that, but there's also things that look like mushrooms that have been sliced and grilled, and peppers and things of that nature, and things that look a bit more fibrous, and some things maybe you haven't seen before. But everything is pretty good, and seasoned and spiced. And goggles, I think you would probably approve.
Yeah. This is very good. Compliments to whoever your chef is.
Well, one of the nameless.
nameless.
Or is that what you are?
No. So we don't have names the way you do, the way you use them.
He means
What?
the people without the mental aptitude.
Oh, there's the other shoe.
They don't.
No,
They can't project the way we do, so they don't have the inner name the way we do.
do they
So-
have their own designations amongst each other though?
They do, and they make names the way your people do,
Mhm.
and it is okay. I mean, it's not like you think, right? It's not. It's not a caste system.
Mhm.
It's just they don't have the same aptitude that we do.
It's the haves and the have-nots.
We do everything to make everyone as comfortable as possible, and the community takes care of and looks after everyone.
Here's
Well-
a thought. Why don't you use their designations for them?
Well, we do when we speak to them.
So you do speak to them.
Yeah, yes. I mean, we just the same way we can use the gift to speak to you, we can speak to them. They just don't have the ability.
They can't project their thoughts.
They can't initiate the way we do. Like they could not
But-
use the gift between you and them. They could speak
Or
to you
or each other.
or each other. Correct.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Why don't you meet them on their level?
Because
They do.
many of us don't have the vocal cords.
Well,
We-
you could at least think their name.
we
I
do
mean,
when
nameless
we
just
address
seems
them.
harsh.
As a group. They're nameless to us.
I think I would like to speak to some of them before we go.
Oh, that's fine. You can speak to Julia right there. And she's the one, points to the one that's cooking.
I'll think towards the one who initially, addressed me from the council and say, like, I've got something I've just been dying to ask since you sat down. What do I look like?
You look like a person inside the suit, but it's different. Like I can see I see you as a being of energy, like you kind of described, but you have a form, and it looks like a man, maybe in his middle years, and there's a beard,
Oh,
and
beard.
someone who looks a bit more physically developed than we are.
Okay.
Taller, much taller. We're not a very tall people.
So as he's saying that, I'm sort of like trying to remember back of my memory of Tracy Caldwell Dyson, whose identity I took now.
Yeah, so the more you kind of like remember that identity of that person, the more distinct the description begins to become of you.
Interesting. I'll think, wow, he was progressive, hyphenated last name. That's right. Tracy always was a forward-thinking person. I didn't realize that. I have a beard, y'all.
Congratulations.
Yeah, a ghost beard. I'd show you, but I'm afraid opening the helmet will release my energy and I'll disperse into the ether forever.
Yeah, let's not let that happen.
That sounds like it might be a little unpleasant.
Does that mean if somebody cracks your helmet, we could lose you forever?
Theoretically, it's never happened yet, so I don't know.
I'm remarkably unworried.
When those amalgamated crew members construct was destroyed, their essences dispersed. I was only able to capture the one that I have right now while it was happening.
You might not even need the suit as much as you think you do.
Really?
But it might be, again, it also might be just it could very well be a part of your subconsciousness telling you need a form to exist.
I do really like it.
It looks nice on you.
Mm.
Fits you well.
I have to say, today has been a very confusing day.
Yep. I am right there with you, Blue.
Oh, really? Why so?
Yeah. Thinking the last hour, and you're trying to say that our friend over here, the spaceman, has a form, and we've never even seen a face. To find out that your friend for weeks has a beard as a revelation is awkward.
Oh, it shouldn't be so strange. You've got hair all over your body.
I mean, I've got a beard. Well, a goatee, but
Right, but
still.
It's not a surprise. Like, you can
Should it be?
your face.
What did you think I looked like, Blue?
I point to the spacesuit.
That was pretty much all I thought too.
You don't take it off. You don't eat. You don't drink. You don't deal with the part that comes out like this. It's just you.
Mm-hmm. That was the assumption I was going on until this moment.
I mean,
can you make
isn't it what's on the inside that counts anyway?
Yeah, you're right, Goggles.
Can you make the yellow face have a beard?
What's that?
He says, "Can you make the yellow face that has a beard?" Because like you've put up emojis before.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll try. I'll just make a smiley face, but with a beard drawn into it. Sort of like this.
That's what it looks like.
Interesting.
It's been a strange couple of weeks, people of Amzia.
It has.
How long have you been here?
You know, our settlement kind of popped up right after everything that happened.
Is there some sort of cyanic crystal in the center of all these concentric circles you've built out around? Or power source?
So,
is there an ancient computer directing your activity?
He kind of looks taken aback a little bit when you kind of like start spouting this stuff off.
Uh-huh.
And did someone? Yeah. Did someone send you here? How do you know that?
I was just thinking of old episodes of a television program I used to like, but why? Is that really what's going on?
There's well, not computers. I'm not even exactly sure what that is, but
Machine?
we do have crystals that we build into the buildings, and it
Really?
it helps amplify what we do here, and it's part of the system that repels unwanted guests.
Is that why all the buildings look the same?
It is one of the reasons, and we just kind of we like the aesthetic, and we like things the same. It it helps us. It soothes our minds.
You know, variety is the spice of life.
We have a saying: "Spice is the spice of life."
Oh, spice is spice for food.
Spice is the life.
So
It must flow.
I don't think I'm
very
gonna.
prophetic.
I don't think I'm gonna convince you that. But all right, so friends, what are we thinking here? Are we?
So can we sort of like walk and talk, and I mean, we were sort of walking and talking, right? Because they were kind of like leaving dinner. And we
No,
just
they
got back.
sat down with you, and
Oh.
the thing food was brought out to you. Also tea. They seem to be very big tea drinkers here, and they do have quite the
It
variety.
sounded like they were wrapping up, and then we just kept talking.
No. So when you were brought in, they actually kind of came in from another entrance, and then kind of filed in, and then sat across from you at this long, low table, and they've just been kind of like making conversation and taking the meal with you.
Right. Sorry.
So I guess like Blue would try to engage in whatever kind of conversation, but we would want to have our own discussion away from them to try and figure out what our plot and plan is from here. I would imagine that's Blue's thinking anyway.
So, well, after the meal, after you guys have a meal, they do offer. We can set aside a space for you to freshen up. I know you've been traveling for a while. If you want to discuss amongst yourselves, I get the feeling that's something you might want to do. I understand that this is a bit unusual for you. It is for us as well, but we've gone through it before. We've had visitors come to our settlement in the past, so
Sure.
it's not completely a foreign or alien concept to us. But I understand perhaps you have not been around those with the gift before, and I also know the world outside can be quite chaotic. So this much order in one place can be a little unsettling. I understand.
Yeah, just a little bit sometimes. But I mean, we come from New Manhattan, and there's all manner of people there. Like you wouldn't believe. Like not everybody looks like me in red. There's all types. So it's mostly just the structure that's a little. But it is a goal of New Manhattan. So
Yeah.
as best I understand it, something about laws and justice and old ladies crossing the street, right, Greg?
Yeah.
And also, so far, New Manhattan has been like a bastion of electricity compared to every place else you've been.
I didn't think about that.
I mean, technically, I've been a bastion of electricity too, but
well, you're used to being the sole source.
Yeah.
yes. Hey, Greg.
What's up? I think at him.
I think I want. Could you help me with something tonight?
So, of course.
Thanks.
Is there anything you require from us to kind of settle in?
Another one of these shish kebabs would be great.
Absolutely. And after you've had time to settle in and kind of and relax a bit, perhaps you'll join us this evening.
for?
Well, we kind of we come together as a community, and it looks a little bit like he's searching for a word for it. You might call it sing.
Oh, you sing. I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
But I mean, it's just something we do as a community. It brings us together, and find it like I said earlier. We are more spiritual than religious.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
It'd be nice
Sure.
to see the sort of things that go on when Lilac's here by herself.
And
Or, without us, not by yourself.
would you like time with Lilac or without? And you get the impression that they're directing their thoughts to the group, excluding Lilac when that question's asked.
Oh, okay.
I think we want to talk with her to be able to figure out what her thoughts are.
I'm just like hand on shoulder, all protective older sister, like.
I did not know if there was some more adult conversations you wanted to have. That is all. Yeah, and he looks at Lilac and smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a shark, looking at food smile, right?
Uh-huh.
Y'all are super suspicious.
Nah, they kind of like remind you of like a grandma or grandpa's kind of smile. Like their facial expressions kind of remind you of like that, except for, which is bizarre because it's coming out of these like childlike faces almost.
Mm-hmm.
So in general, these people have seemed pretty well genuine in their intentions of helping and whatnot, right?
Give me an intellect roll.
Okay, I am actually trained in discerning the disposition of others.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So-
trained in it.
Okay, so that's a 5, which will go down to a 4 for you.
Okay, so that means I have to get a 12 or better. Here we go.
Well, let's just spend effort.
I got exactly a 12.
There you go.
Okay.
Is that meets beats?
Yeah, you made it.
Yep.
Okay.
So you feel like everything they've been telling you has been on the up and up. Also, you did have a little difficulty like trying to discern their intent a little bit, just because the way they interact with each other is purely through this mental communication. So if they smile, that would be like a ruckus laugh, to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just not very expressive.
Okay.
So, I guess I would say, is there any layers of deception in what they've said?
You haven't. Goggles has not detected any. So the only thing is like when you are getting like these facial expressions and gestures, they do feel a little overdone. Like they're doing them for your benefit.
So this is like a Meet Dave scenario
What's that?
where like the smiles are like very obviously forced for the benefit of the other person.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it seems more like they're trying to be polite than nefarious.
Right. Sure.
Maybe too polite, though.
Maybe too polite.
That curling smoke was too inviting.
Too inviting. And
It's too safe.
Those
The
lying
vegetable
smoke.
Taste
and
it good.
brains are definitely not meat.
Yeah. They grew the vegetables on the corpses of their former victims.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Look. So when we get away from these people and start having our conversation, the very first thing out of my mouth is like, I don't like how smug these people are. Like they seem like nice enough people, but they just have the superior attitude, and I don't like it.
Really, you detected a superior attitude?
the entire time, did you not? You
No,
know what?
I
Never
thought they
mind.
were-
You kind of have the same one sometimes.
So-
Wow. I'm just
let's-
flying by the seat of my spacesuit, Red.
Let's look at it this way. There's two types of people here. There is the gifted, and there is the nameless.
And they're acting like that's not a caste system. Like, no,
They
they're
weren't treated any worse.
Mm.
Except
Mhm.
they're referred to as the nameless.
They're not-
Yeah, they had a name. They pointed
Okay.
out that woman Julia.
They're not treating them like the hired help, but they are treating them with pity.
So I'm
Yes, that you definitely detected pity when they referred to them a little bit.
That is inherently lesser than. You pity things that you consider to be lesser than. I'm not leaving her here. Like, not
I mean,
forever.
I'm not trying
this doesn't
to.
seem like a fun place to grow up for sure. Yeah, definitely. Whether you had the gift or not, to be honest, seems kind of a little dull,
All their clothes are the same.
right? That's a surefire way to get your culture destroyed by an alien invasion.
I mean, in all fairness, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, and I hope that isn't in poor taste, but let's just think for a minute. We are thinking about having to leave Lilac with people who are any kind of acceptable so that we aren't actively bringing this young child into danger.
Oh yeah, I'm
Now-
not saying that we shouldn't leave her here while we go off to deal with Marinara, but we're coming back after. We're not leaving her here forever.
No, I think we're all on the same page there, right? What about you,
And-
Lilac?
And
Like,
on the
shit,
same
that's-
token, Red, you have developed a very close connection with Lilac. And I feel like no matter who we met, you would be able to find something wrong with them. I'm not
Okay,
saying that a superior attitude is acceptable, but I'm saying there are definitely worse flaws in this world than having a haughty attitude because
think
you
she
have a
likes
degree
colors.
of privilege. And I'm not
just-
saying that's okay, but I'm saying maybe we should just at least leave her while we deal with Marinara.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I have legitimately said that that is a thing that we are planning on doing. I'm saying that we are coming back through here, and I didn't have to try very hard to find something wrong with them.
I also think Red likes colors. Just saying.
If you do leave me here, can you leave some snacks that aren't vegetables?
Yes.
I think I still have one pack of Twinkies left.
You know, to be perfectly honest, over dinner, it occurred to me, largely from what you were saying, Blue, that, I mean, if we went back right now, we've learned a lot about how, you know, more than we knew before. I mean, her power emanates from her house, which seems to protect her, and even from the people of Amzia's, observance, their mental powers. She manipulates magic somehow, and I mean, those are some things. To be honest, we were only in New Manhattan for like a day or two. I mean, they might have their own magical resources for all we know.
I mean,
Oh wait, was Red the only one that noticed they looked like Una?
Oh yeah, I'll mention that.
So yeah, there's maybe he has some sort of connection or similar resources as these people here, and we could shield the city.
we even learned that from the people here that he's got some kind of protection from their far viewing or whatever they're doing here, which is
What was that? I didn't follow what you said.
oh well the one of the counselors, one of the elders, said that when they tried to, for lack of a better word, scry on Morena, that they were kind of pushed back, that there was a barrier.
Oh yeah, right.
So we know that she's got magical protection from far viewing, but it's still another piece of information.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to convince these people here to go ahead and kind of get a projected what do we call it? I don't know, path we might be able to use that to kind of figure out how long it's going to take for them to get to there. We might not even have to do our own physical scouting. We can get some kind of projected numbers, a projected, ETA of when they're going to get to New Manhattan, and any other details that we might be able to get from the gifted. We can head back, warn as many villages between here and New Manhattan, and
your intellect is truly astounding, Blue.
It's all from just assuming that everything's out to get you, and putting the pieces together therein.
A skill that has saved our bacon several times.
Except they don't have bacon here because they're all a bunch of filthy plant eaters.
But they do have that purple bacon you guys seem to like back at New Manhattan.
Okay, you're right. I'm being mean. I'm going to stop now.
Maybe
Packles, you're as good of a human therapist as you are a ghost therapist.
I haven't seen Blue eat any meat. Is he a filthy plant eater?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. And I'm laughing the way that your sibling laughs when they've just taken a dig at you and think it's really funny.
Why don't you eat meat?
Why should I?
It's tasty. And I was always told if I want to have my pudding, I got to eat my meat.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's much easier to hunt plants than it is to hunt food. To hunt animals.
That sounds about as exciting as this whole town. Hunting plants, they don't go anywhere, they don't move.
Exactly.
I don't know, there's probably some...
Makes it easier to find food.
You don't think... Greg, you don't think the plants here are going to try and eat me?
Here in Amzia? No, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of plant creatures out there somewhere. Hey, Lilac, did you know that Blue is actually a scientific genius? And I bet you if you put his mind to it, he could probably make some sort of meat substitute out of plants. What would you think about that?
Well, what is scientific? But I guess he could be a genius. He's so cute
on his face.
Yeah, I mean he's very astute. He knows a lot about plants and geology and geography.
Geology, probably not. Geography, yes.
Mm-mm.
So he studies jogging?
Well, he is pretty quick.
I do like to run.
I'd say he schools people when it comes to jogging.
Well, you said he's a jogology, right? You said he studies jogology.
I know terrain. I know maps. I know my way to navigate places. Pull out a couple of maps that we got from a couple of places that we've seen. This, I can show you where to go. And
oh, my mom and dad, they always told me not to wander far because you'll get eaten by a monster.
Well, you gotta outthink the monster.
But I mean, I did not wander far, and some of my friends did get eaten by monsters anyway. So I guess we're just gonna all get eaten by monsters?
No, you are not going to all get eaten by monsters because we're going to teach you how to deal with it when monsters show up after we get back from dealing with Marinara. Okay?
But Blue always says we're going to die.
Yeah, but he's wrong about a lot of things, and this is one of them. He's right about a lot of things too, but not this.
But Greg said he's a genius.
He is a genius, but geniuses they still have their blind spots. See, I would consider myself to be a pretty smart person too, but I'm also jealous of these brain people because I can't do the things that they do, and I'm kind of mad about it, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
I don't know. I'm just very confused right now, and I'm going to stay here with the bald people until you come back. and take me
Okay.
someplace else.
You're
And
okay with that?
hopefully you don't all die like Blue said.
I promise you, I'll come back.
I was kind of thinking we'd just go back to New Manhattan from here.
All of us? Or are you going to leave me here?
No, we're not going to leave you here if we go back to New Manhattan.
No, you'd love it. Lilac.
Well, I think tonight we're probably going to go sing with the people.
That's right.
And tomorrow we'll try to have another meeting with the counselors or the elders, council of elders, and see whether we can get them to, view
Mm-hmm.
area and see what we can get. And maybe from there, we'll have enough information that we can then just head back to New Manhattan.
Yeah. I mean, what they can't sense would be telling as well.
That's true. Follow the void and all that. But I'm thinking that, like, if we do go back, then we can make a better strike plan while we're there, come back in numbers, like have an actual... Because there's no way that we're going to be able to do this just as ourselves. Actually, I think that you guys are right, and this is probably the best course of action. You convinced me.
And we get to see Unik again. I don't know how happy you'll be to see me, but-
Can we not? Like, we're not talking about this. We're just making war plans.
Was there something special about
War
the
plans with
singer?
Unik.
He's incredibly attractive. Have
He
you
is
not
incredible.
noticed?
Like, really?
I think he hates me.
Why would he hate you?
I think he hates
As a
Blue.
player, I don't remember, but I gained an inability in my interactions with him. So I don't
He's really tall. He's not very fuzzy. He's got way too much armor on. That's weird.
I mean,
Oh.
compared to what most people wear, yeah, but like you gotta admit the armor. Oh, that armor.
Kind of like a shining beacon of hope in a hopeless place. We're not talking about this. We're making war plans. That's
Yeah,
it.
she's better with words than me. But yes, and those eyes, right? And he's
Right.
like looking at Red at this point.
So Lilac is kind of like looking back and forth between the two of you. She
Like, do you
seems to get
think-
she seems to get a little more excited with each like exchange. And will I get to meet him too?
Yes.
Absolutely. But I mean, those eyes. Like, do you think I would wear these all the time if I had eyes like that?
He had the same green eyes as these people, right? Were they all green?
Yeah, everyone's eyes is green.
No, Unik's.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Oh,
Or
that's even more of a reason to
So,
go back and let him know.
Eric in the chat is calling for Red and Goggles to fight to the death for Hopebringer's attention.
we still have a couple sessions left. That could happen.
Marinara who? Well, I don't know
Next
about y'all,
episode.
but this psychic singing sounds just absolutely delightful.
It does. Oh,
And just before it's about to take place, just before the sun goes down, you guys are kind of summoned for it. One of the ones that they call the Nameless comes to get you, and for the first time since you've been here, someone actually speaks to you. And it's the same woman from the common area,
Julia?
Julia. Yeah.
Julia.
And
I also don't trust the fact that it's been the same one both times. Like, that feels a little curated to me. I just... it's sus.
Julia, you sus. You sus.
like visiting North Korea.
You don't think that like the showrunners just didn't want to hire another voice actor, so they just used the same lady?
I mean, I
That
guess
was my
that's
assumption.
possible.
We must
You could
hurry.
spend an experience point to make Dave come up with another NPC.
We must hurry if we're to partake of the singing and the flight.
All right, let's
flight.
go. The flight.
Yes.
Very evidently not trusting this either, but gonna go along with it.
So, Julia, isn't it wonderful living here?
It's Julia, but yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Julia?
I haven't really known anything else. You know, I've heard some of the stories. I've talked to some travelers. There, not many come here. The elders do not let many through, for fear of harm being done to the people in the community. And I mean, it is a little hard for some of us because we don't have the gift, but you know from what I hear, there are much worse lives to live out there.
I mean, yeah.
So
You could
they
be
decide who
Morena.
gets let in and who doesn't.
Yes, I mean,
So
in a
you
sense,
ever talk to anyone that they don't explicitly let you talk to.
that would be fair because I don't know. The way the gift works here, it's like if someone who they deem doesn't belong here, they won't see this place and they won't come here. They'll go around, they'll go back the way they came. They won't even know it. It's just that they'll just go somewhere else and they don't even know it. So, like we don't have to fight. We don't have to have, we don't get our stuff taken. No one gets killed.
Are you happy, Julia?
I why would I not be happy? Like everything I want is here.
Sounds like a great reason to be happy to me.
But
My
I mean, like, how
family's
would you
here.
know if you've not been anywhere else? Like, never mind.
Well, that's true. I mean,
Here's a question. You said everything you want is here. What do you want?
well, my parents are here, and my siblings, my friends. There's always plenty of food, and everyone works together.
So
It's quiet and peaceful.
weird question. Do nameless make nameless and gifted make gifted? Or can anything make anything?
Anything, I guess anything can make anything. We don't know why some of us have the gift and some of us don't. I mean, those of us that don't have the gift are born a little bit more physically hardy, and I guess we're a little more athletic. I don't know, and we can talk like those that have the gift. They cannot. Most of them cannot talk. Some can really softly, but even then, it kind of hurts them too. It's like they had, like those muscles just don't develop. They don't have. She kind of looks around and pulls like she's got a braid, a dark braid of hair, and pulls it around her. They don't have hair. I kind of like the hair.
Yeah. 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 It's real pretty.
So sometimes,
And I love what you've done with it, by the way.
So they call us the nameless because it's weird because we actually have names and they use our names, and they're actually the nameless, kind of, because when like we know, like you just know who they are, like, and it's just a thought, but it's not like I'm Julia and there's Rufus and Jalash, but like we have names and they don't actually have names, so it is weird. We actually call them the hairless, though. And like when she says this stuff, you don't like detect any malice, or it's more of like matter of fact, like this is just what it is.
I am slightly like 2% less sus after this conversation.
Just imagine if there was somebody with hair and the gift. Ooh, that would throw everything for a loop.
Is that what you say out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be weird.
Wouldn't it?
That might even be scary. I don't know.
Well, new and different things are sometimes scary, Julia.
Hey, Julia, what do you know about this Marine of the Merciless?
Oh, I don't actually know very much about anything outside of here. I mean, the elders really take care of that stuff. I mean, even the others with the gift, they don't really get involved with that. They kind of leave it to the elders. I understand like everyone with the gift kind of powers the defenses and helps them be stronger to do the things that they do, but they're not actually involved in that. That's for the leaders to do and take care of us.
Has anyone born here, like that has powers as part of your culture, chosen to leave?
I don't think so. Why would they? I mean, like everything we could want is here.
Oh,
I mean, I guess someone could leave if they wanted to.
there's no rules or laws about having to stay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Just an odd thought.
That is an odd thought. Why would anyone want to leave? It's very dangerous out there. Oh, but speaking of danger, we should hurry up and get to the song in the flight.
Speaking of danger,
Why?
Well,
is
not
this
to
so
us.
dangerous?
And
You must not be late for singing.
Yeah, we do have one line.
the moon's rising.
Executed.
The moon's rising.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want to be outside for this, guys.
No, it's
we
okay.
even
It's
more.
okay.
I actually really want to see what this is about, so I'm gonna go without complaint or more mention of how sus this is.
I'm totally interested.
So they kind of arrange themselves around that common gathering building, like on the outside. And their arrangement the way they arrange themselves almost kind of makes you think of the kind of the layout of the town. And they kind of all like hold hands. Those with the gift and those that are,
Yes.
and those that they call the nameless, and you kind of hear this like music in your heads. It's not a song; it's more like music that begins to kind of radiate out. And as the moon rises, the daemons descend, and it's like a cloud of them, kind of like black out the moon, sort of. But see, the odd thing about the lunar daemons is the light of the moon, their bodies kind of absorb it and further radiate it out. So like this, so instead of like a shadow passing over the ground, it's more like moonlight dancing across the ground. But as a whole flight of these daemons kind of cross over top of the town and the settlement, they kind of split, and some of them head in the direction that you envision that other town Thesis would be, and others split in the direction of the horde. But they never descend, particularly close to the town. You just see them, and it goes on for a while until it finally passes. The song extends, a couple hours afterwards.
Is it like a combination of like vocal and mental singing?
It's all mental.
It's all mental. Okay.
Yeah, like if you look at any of the nameless, you can see that they have like this like expression of like kind of like rapture on their faces as they kind of take it in. Yeah. And they, they're also holding hands with others as well, and they're kind of everyone's kind of swaying slightly in time with the music.
Just like they
do.
Just like what?
Just like they do in Whoville.
Yes. And
oh my gosh.
And then when it kind of ends, Julia kind of turns to you and whispers to the group, It's beautiful, isn't it? You see them? The way they fly? And the way the moon radiates out from their wings.
It is. So that
Wait, you think those monsters are beautiful?
Well, from down here, and when and they go over, like they're graceful and
Blue, they've never harmed these people. They merely fly.
They pick up people and take them to the moon, right?
we've heard stories,
We've seen it.
and we know they never get the horde. But yeah, I do hear the stories. But our town is small. What do you say, Blue?
I said, why do they never get the horde?
I don't know. For whatever reason, they're never able to like here. Maybe
Probably
they have
for the same reason that your elders can't track them.
Yeah, maybe they have something that keeps them away.
Well, if nothing else, I mean, this is good to know. So, the lunar daemons aren't allied with these people.
No.
Maybe they aren't allied with Morena. Hopefully.
No, I don't think so. I think she's using some sort of defenses against them. If we could, maybe Eunuch would know how to counter that. Hopefully, we could just carry him away.
We'll find out.
I wonder if, well, that's not a question for in front of everyone.
What's not a question for in front of everyone? Julia speaks up.
I just had a question for Red specifically.
Later.
So have you seen the lunar daemons before? I mean, you must not have
Yes.
seen them before, because if you did, they would have carried you away.
No.
Oh no.
We all met
Oh,
while being attacked by lunar daemons, as a matter of fact.
you were attacked and survived?
Uh-huh.
We're very good.
They don't take very good people?
No.
No, we're good at fighting.
Oh,
Well, they are.
nobody here is good at fighting. No one here fights, ever. There's no fighting. Why would you want to fight?
I've been asking
Because
myself that for 10
the
seconds.
alternative was to be carried off by the lunar demons.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Let's see. To prevent yourself from being eaten, to prevent yourself from being sold into a circus where you're tortured to death. It just starts rambling
Well,
of experiences that has specifically
So-
happened to Blue.
I heard somebody say once that it is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah. I think it's less
Well-
about why you fight and more about what's worth fighting for.
We have gardens,
It's okay
but
being
we have
carried
no
out.
warriors. Are you going to fight the lunar demons?
Not
War?
right now.
Well, probably have
Maybe
to do
never.
so again sometime. He wants to. Greek wants to go to the moon.
I can roll with it if they want to carry me off to the moon. I'm curious.
I mean, free ride.
Yeah.
That seems really far away.
Jelly, you don't even know the half of it.
Well, if you go to the moon and you ever come back, will you tell me about it?
Absolutely.
Billy,
I'll make a mental note of it.
Grigg says the moon used to be further away.
Mm-hmm. Not even that long ago.
Huh. You strangers are full of surprises. I mean, I've talked to strangers before, but not like you. folks. You seem
Really?
to know a lot of stuff and be good at a lot of stuff.
Have you
Oh, thank
met any blue spider monkey people?
You're the first.
Okay, so
I mean, between
Mohammed,
you
that's-
and Goggles and Red and Lilac here, you're the most colorful things in this whole entire town. Sorry, Greg, not you so much. You kind of
We are
blend
pretty
in.
special.
If you could only see my aura, Julia.
See, this is what I mean when I say you're smug.
I mean, he seems okay to
My
me.
visor blushes.
So, did you like the song?
I like any song that involves the lunar daemons not coming near me.
I like the song. It was pretty.
Yeah, I mean that's the point, to keep them away. So I mean it does work. It keeps our town safe. But
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think it's a good thing that you haven't had to experience what would make you afraid of them.
I mean there's stories about the times before where we didn't know how to make them not come here. And you know, our town used to be open like other ones. People could come here.
Was
There
that
would
before?
probably
the
only
gift?
be what, like 2 generations of people here at most,
Yeah.
or maybe 3.
Yeah. The generations are much shorter now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, without modern medicine.
Sure. Yeah.
But would you like to take some tea before before people turn in for the evening? People will be gathering in the common area to take tea. Kind of, I don't know, just celebrate the passing of the lunar demons.
How often do the demons come down here?
Well, I imagine just as often as everywhere else. So the moon rises, twice a month.
Okay.
So this is the second time it's risen in this campaign, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love tea, but I think I need to do something with Greg before we sleep.
Sure.
She kind of
That's
gets a
right,
sly
yeah.
smile on her face and and blushes a little bit. Well then, good night. And if you need anything, just ask for me, and kind of like shuffles off.
It's
And,
not like
just
that.
Losing
And then-
it, laughing.
And then
He's my
when
therapist.
and then almost as like an
That
like a
doesn't make it
delayed
better.
reaction, Violet like catches on, and she begins giggling as well.
No, Unix my type. Or Lily. No offense, Greg.
You're not a ghostophile. But what is it that I can help you with?
I was wondering if you could help me contact the Giznor to ask what they want.
I'd be honored to. Sure, proud to help you with that.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Sure, and I guess we could find a secluded place that's like quiet and stuff.
Yeah, finding a secluded, quiet place here is actually very easy.
Sure.
And the Gizmore have also been kind of quiet since you've come to town.
I'm going to ask you a favor in turn, Goggles.
Okay.
Because I know you've actually displayed a fascinating empathy and intuitiveness about these Giznor, and been able to interact with them and through the outside world through these crystals on your suit. I'm going to open my helmet to see if that will help aid the connection, because it's very difficult to project my mind into another's mind, but maybe that'll help. I didn't know there was any sort of real essence in here, but these people said that there's something in, so maybe that'll help. And I feel like if things go right, you'd be able to at least rein whatever is in of me is in this suit from dispersing.
I mean, I definitely would try if you want to take that risk, but that's a lot. And like even though we tease you sometimes and stuff, like you being that suit, being you being that suit, it's not a problem for us.
You know, I'm a little curious myself what will happen.
Okay.
And it seems
So
like they have their own sort of like dimension in there. So let's try.
Okay.
so you two are gonna wander off to do that. What's blue and red doing?
I don't know, Blue. What you thinking?
So at first, Blue was definitely a little concerned when they start singing and the demons come out, but that was the last bit of suspect flown out the window. So I guess Blue's looking to head back and reassure that Lilac is okay with whatever plans that we come up with, as long as she's not going to stay here permanently. And he's just kind of laying out with Red about what questions can we ask the elders, if we can get another meeting tomorrow of can they safely scout and give us any information, numbers, direction, if they can scout away from Marina, how many villages are there between here and New Manhattan? And he's just gonna plot it all down, gather as much intel as he possibly can, and if we can get a general idea of numbers, the village information and a trajectory, we would be able to come up with a basic estimated time of when she would be arriving, and we could just beeline back, getting every village that we could get to first to say, hey, this is what's headed your way. Get to New Manhattan. We just begin moving our own force northward and
So,
try to deprive her of all of those people.
so instead of going to her, we set a trap. We set an ambush. We control the field. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
So Goggles and Greg, how are you gonna set? You find a quiet space between a couple buildings.
So we were chatting. I was imagining like them, that somebody had actually said they had gardens there. Maybe they got like one of those Zen sand gardens with like the rakes, and it's all cool looking, and they could like sit down cross-legged next to each other. Maybe there's like a little babbling fountain nearby, and and I'm gonna open my visor and try to project. So my third eye, I'm taking a little liberties, but it says you visualize a place within short range and cast your mind to that place. So I'm going to visualize that Giznor's like mindscape that I'd seen once or twice before and try to just project it into Goggles. And I'll say, just focus on your kindness. And I think that has had a very positive effect on the Giznor so far. And let's see what we can do together. Is there any, what do you do you want to find out what's hurting them and what they want?
I want to find out what kind of a life they want to live now that they're free. I want them to know they're free. I don't want them to feel trapped inside this.
Okay. Well, I'll help you convey that message to them if I can. So I'll sort of project my third eye into that place and under Goggles' direction.
Okay, so you guys kind of sit, across from each other in one of these gardens. It's like, it's got a fountain and it's kind of like a rock garden. And it is kind of surrounded by, 4 different buildings. And as you raise your visor and kind of energy pours out into Goggles' chest.
Okay.
What color is it?
Oh, like a fuchsia.
Okay. So this fuchsia energy pours into Goggles' chest gem and then like hits it and like splits the beam.
Ooh, okay.
As it does, the beam splits and hits two of these houses, two of these buildings. And when it hits them, you can see diamond-shaped crystals kind of manifest or appear that you didn't notice before. And, from there, they kind of shoot off to the sides, one to either side, hitting another building. So hitting 4 of these crystals and almost making like this zigzag pattern that begins with Goggles, and then it kind of completes
So it's
itself,
like-
creating a figure, like almost like a jagged figure 8 or a crazy sideways infinity symbol.
Okay.
It's kind of more jagged as it blasts into the back of Goggles, and the other side almost like feels like skewering him. And for Greg, time kind of stands still while this happens.
Okay.
And Goggles, you begin experiencing lifetimes in the blink of an eye. Both of you can actually just take an XP and give one out.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll give one to Red.
Then I'll give mine to Blue.
And then the Giznor manifestation you've seen in the past begins to engulf Goggles. But then it kind of tenses out and it looks different and begins to encompass Greg as well. And it almost, from an outsider looking in, the two of you may not even be able to see this, but someone, looking from the outside in would almost see 2 of these energy-like creatures that are kind of manifesting around each of you. And they've got their like hands and fingers interlocked, and they seem to be like almost in a mercy war.
Okay.
In the center of this crazy figure 8 energy configuration. And the amount of energy that's washing over to you, you've experienced the Giznor before, but never like with this intensity. It feels amplified to a magnitude that you've never experienced before. So the both of you then feel this sensation of falling away as you are falling through a pink sky towards a landscape of buildings that are made out of this crystalline substance with a pink hue to it. All the world seems to be awash in this pink light. It's pink washed, if you would.
Okay.
As you descend down, faster and faster, it looks like you're going to hit very, very hard.
I'm going to try to exert my resonance field mentally over the Goggles and Grig mental constructs of ourselves.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm just
No. I will absolutely allow that. So you're going to kind of like, put it in front of you.
Spend twice as many points.
And, next week we'll find out what that actually does for you.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
What a crazy episode.
And with that, I want to thank everyone who's been watching and
Wow.
thank my players as always for playing. And I don't think we mentioned in the beginning, but Steven and Robin are writers for the Nerdarchy website, as well as published authors. They have novels over on Amazon that people can check out. There will be links in the description as usual that you can go click on and see what they got over there and order some books. We will be back next week for 11, and then after that we only have one more before we wrap the season, and then we kind of, I guess maybe then we'll be revealing what comes next possibly. So thanks everyone. Until next time, stay nerdy.
Hey, nerdy.
Hey, nerdy.